going to read a letter that went to Director Eli Honig of the Attorney General's office. Dear Director Honig, I would like to bring to your attention a situation that I believe is corruption within the town of Palmetto. In January of 2015, through the Open Public Records Act request, I received a copy of an employment application for Michael Chalez, Director of Palmetto Regional Animal Shelter, who today, January 21st, 2015, has been charged with animal abuse and animal neglect by the NJSPCA. Previously, while acquiring information about the shelter, I had numerous run-ins with Mayor Nancy Martin and her son and daughter-in-law, Michael and Magdalena Metz. On several occasions, the police had to be called because of the behavior, harassment, and assault of Mayor Nancy Martin's relatives. Each time, and one of them being rude and lascivious behavior by Michael Metz, and witnessed by half a dozen people, Cindy Glaser, the ADA with Middlesex County, was called. To my surprise, and the surprise of those that witnessed these events, Cindy Glaser said no crime was committed. Imagine my surprise when I received back Michael Chalez's employment application where Cindy Glaser was named as one of her references. I have since come to find out that not only was Cindy Glaser a reference, but she is also a close friend of not only Michael Chalez, but also the mayor of Palmetto, Nancy Martin. In October of 2014, after Nancy Martin forced her police officers to file numerous unfounded charges against me and my husband, I went before Judge Edward Herman, presiding judge for Borough of Palmetto. And some of the charges were filed by me against the mayor's family members. Judge Herman recused himself and granted a change of motion. Judge Herman, being the assignment judge for Middlesex County, reassigned the case to Judge Christine Heitman, presiding judge in North Brunswick Township Municipal Court. When we went before Judge Heitman in December of 2014, I was appalled at her conduct. She threw out all the charges against Mayor Nancy Martin's family without the probable cause hearing that we requested, as well as placed a verbal no-contact order against me so that I could no longer go to the municipal building in Palmetto for council meetings where, on several occasions, I brought before the council corruption and allegations of animal abuse at the Palmetto Regional Animal Shelter. As you may or may not be aware, the Palmetto Regional Animal Shelter was closed down on November 13, 2014, after a joint investigation by the Middlesex County Department of Health, New Jersey SPCA, and the Attorney General's Office for Animal Abuse and Neglect, because of my diligence in presenting the truth to the Palmetto Town Council and the NJSPCA. On January 2nd, 2015, the Palmetto Town Council had a reorganization meeting for an up-and-coming year. I received a copy of the agenda for the meeting, which was attached, and was shocked at what I discovered. Mayor Nancy Martin had appointed Judge Christine Heitman, presiding judge in North Brunswick, as the alternative judge for Palmetto. This appointment should have immediately forced Judge Heitman to step down from the cases to be heard in front of her as a conflict of interest. Instead, Judge Heitman threw out the mayor's family's complaints and then slapped me with a no contact order against 2 buildings. An FYI, no contact order can only be towards a person on a public building. To date, I have not been able to get a physical copy of the no contact order to even see what it says. How can a presiding judge for Palmetto reassign my case to a town which the presiding judge, Christine Heitman, is the alternative judge in the same town that he is the presiding judge? My civil rights and my right to a fair and speedy trial have been trampled upon in such a manner that I can no longer get a fair trial. I have been in court on 5 occasions with a new court date set for February 3rd, and I still have not been able to speak to the prosecutor, put in a plea, or ask for a public defender. As I continue to research further, I have found that all cases that are reassigned for a change of venue go to North Brunswick, which means that there was a conflict of interest with all cases that were reassigned. I am asking the Attorney General's office to look into my allegations of misconduct and civil rights violations and ask that my cases be thrown out due to those violations. I have attached the necessary paperwork to substantiate my claims. And that's from Colleen Rock. Now, I have the application for employment. This actually came back from my email. right here. Cindy Glazer, assistant prosecutor. She's known her 5 years. And this is the person that every single time there was an incident, an officer would call to get her opinion on the matter. So talk about a conflict of interest. Now, when I went to court, because I was assaulted by her daughter-in-law, I wasn't given a fair trial. It wasn't even probable cause. It was like, I find no probable cause here. I got the runaround with filing the complaint for 2 weeks, because you can only file them on a Thursday for 2 hours. And if they're not here, then you can't file them. So then the judge says, well, you waited too long to file the charges. But somehow her daughter-in-law managed to file charges against me, so this way, she can cover her ass and make sure that everybody, would get everything dismissed. And I think that's ridiculous. I mean, because I had 12 witnesses. Not that it matters, because she has no problem ruining people's lives. Obviously, she's going to take a judge down with her now, because we've already spoken with each other. I mean, how do you sit in a courtroom and a judge just says, I find no problem cause? You didn't even ask anything about the story, anything about witnesses, nothing. And then to find out that pretty much we were sitting in front of a helmeted judge with family members of the mayor, it wasn't a change of venue, it was a change of building. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a conflict of interest. So that has already been filed. Anybody wants to see the application.
I like to see that.
And also, too, Richard Chellis, which, by the way, is for you, Sandy. You can't redact references. And Richard Chellis, all crossed out. So it's an open violation. That's true.
Well, I don't know who redacted, because I don't do any of the redacting. I'll check with the office.
I would like another copy, then it's not redacted. Now the list of people that weren't allowed in the shelter. This is hysterical. 200 people. There's people on this list.
Excuse me, before you continue, I think that wasn't banned. That was a list of people.
That is not true. The Oprah request specifically said people that were banned.
There was 4 people that were banned. That must have gotten mixed up.
What was that list? What was it then?
There was 200 people. There are 200 names on there of people that were not allowed in the shelter. Now, I didn't make it on there because you can figure out how I was back then.
No, what happened was, I believe Mr. Ronco asked for the list of, I think Yvette said something about the crazies.
Colleen asked for the Oprah.
I asked for the Oprah.
You're not gonna debate it, okay?
Oh, she's talking to me.
Well, I just wanted to clarify what was going on, but.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say it for the record. This is the list that they were comparing people's licenses to when they were trying to see who was coming in the shelter, and they wanted to put them on a list. They were part of the orange shirts, or they sent anybody a nasty email about how horrible the animals are being taken care of, because there's people that are on this list that never even entered the shelter. They live in California, they live in Florida, they happen to be family members of people in the reform, or just, not supportive of her. And they've never even been in the shelter. They just send emails of disgust for what's going on. They got blocked. Yeah. 200 people. I mean, I will send it to you, Joe, because you look the most confused.
I can give you the list tomorrow, Joe. You come in on Friday. Okay.
Well, if you want the true version of it.
Well, what did you want to be before, so they weren't for that? What was the list for?
Now, here's another thing that's funny, too. Now, that being said, going back to the conflict of interest with Titan, there was an incident with the shelter director in which he assaulted Colleen by pushing her. Nobody saw it, yet we have it on video, and I was accused of throwing a slice of pizza. Now, what's hysterical is, with me trying to file charges against someone coming at me to assault me, it took me forever. And I was thrown out because of that. But Nancy's errand boy, Gannon, he decided almost exactly a month to the day that he was going to press charges against me for that incident, and claims to have a video that went up on YouTube. Where? Never went up proven where it came from. And it was illegally seized. So it was uploaded from that SD card. So now, there was a letter sent to Dr. DeBowie on December 29th, 2014. Dear Dr. DeBowie, this is from Sandra Bohinski. It has been brought to our attention that a statement was made by you on Facebook. You stated that you were a witness to illegal euthanasias performed by the mayor's son, Brandon Metz. Could you please tell us if he euthanized cats or dogs? How many and on what days did you witness this? Now, witness tampering much? Because it's pretty much common knowledge that he's being looked at, Darren Doran's being looked at, but there's no interest here as far as Darren Doran, because Darren Doran is being looked at too for illegal euthanasia. But the only concern, I mean, I don't know why Sandra would be interested in only Brandon Metz. Obviously, this is something I'm guessing the mayor could not do. You know, but that's witness tampering, because this is a case. It's being investigated. I mean, he's supposed to give back a letter that what they're going to use against him at a later date. If he did it, then I don't understand why you would have to witness him. You know, why isn't Darren Doran a concern? He's an employee. He's somebody who did dirty work too here. Why isn't he a concern? And you're only concerned about your son? Why is that? I mean, if you're performing illegal euthanasia, obviously that you're using drugs that you don't have certification for. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time you had a son that was busted for drugs. Why are you so concerned? So, all I gotta say was, how did this all work out for you? Colleen didn't fizzle out. We never gave up. Just waiting for them to sing on you. Whatever they face, we'll turn over on you. There's no loyalty to thieves.
Jail time.